Okay, so what if our entire world, our reality, was actually a computer system? And what if the end times everyone talks about isn't some fiery apocalypse, but just a system reboot? Today, we are diving deep into a really fascinating prophecy that looks at everything, geopolitics, ancient scripture, even our own minds, through the lens of technology. And get this, it gives us a specific date for this great reset, 2030.
So let's start with the core idea here. The foundation of this whole thing is that nothing is an accident. Our world isn't just a chaotic series of random events. No, it's a precisely coded system. And the ground zero for this entire program, the place where the absolute truth is anchored, is the city of Jerusalem.
All right, so if Jerusalem is the main frame, the central processing unit of this whole global computer, where does that leave the rest of the world? Well, this prophecy breaks it all down, dividing the world into 4 distinct quarters, each with a very specific job in this cosmic operating system. I want you to picture a giant motherboard, and each part of the world has a role. Up north, you've got this archive of raw, painful memory, judgment, pain, blood. Down south, that's the hard drive, and it's been collecting 2,000 years of data, basically getting ready for a final format. To the east, that's where a simple foundational code originates. And then there's the west, the hub of all things high-tech, complex algorithms, and cyber warfare. Every direction has a part to play.
Okay, so this brings us to the main event, the central conflict that's playing out right now. This text frames it as a clash between 2 symbolic animals, the ram, coming from the east, and the goat, representing the west. But this isn't just about armies and territory. It's a collision of operating systems, a fundamental battle over the source code of our reality.
And this table just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the 2 types of power here. On one side, you've got the ram. Its power is all about becoming great through physical force, flesh, territory, fuel. You can touch it. On the other side, there's the goat. Its power is about becoming exceedingly great through things you can't touch, algorithms, satellites, data. It is a classic showdown, old-school matter versus high-frequency information.
So what we're really looking at is a battle between 2 completely different philosophies of power. The ram is all about brute force, literally trampling its way forward with raw physical might. But the goat is a force that does not touch the ground. It's a perfect symbol for its dominance in the air and in cyberspace. It's a fight between the tangible and the intangible, the physical and the virtual.
And out of the smoking rubble of this conflict, something new is going to rise. And it's not your grandfather's dictatorship. This is something else entirely. It's a technological tyranny, born from the shattered pieces of the goat's Western power.
Now this is where it gets wild. The prophecy says the new leader is a king who understands riddles. But here's the twist. What if a riddle, or chidah, in the original Hebrew, isn't a clever puzzle? What if it's the ancient word for an algorithm? This king's real power isn't in his army, it's in his total mastery of encrypted data.
So how does this AI king even come to power? Well, first off, his power isn't really his own. It's all based on external data and a massively powerful AI helper. And what does he do with it? He casts truth to the ground. He replaces our reality with a perfect, seamless, but completely fake virtual world. And his ultimate goal? To hack the human soul, to find the back doors in our spiritual defense code and take control.
So we've got this epic technological war playing out on the world stage. But what if all of that is just the backdrop? What if the real main event is something happening inside of us? What if all this external chaos is designed to push humanity itself into a profound and very difficult test?
I mean, think about it. In a world where reality itself can be faked, where a flawless simulation can replace the truth, what is actually required of us? What does this trial really demand from our hearts, our minds, and our souls?
And here it is. This is the heart of the test. The prophecy describes it as a process of sifting, refining, and whitening. And this isn't about being good or bad. It's about being real. It's a trial by fire, a forced choice between the virtual world we're offered and the real one we came from. It's an intense pressure cooker designed to reveal the truth that's buried deep inside each of us.
And the text talks about this whole process like a computer tech cleaning a corrupted hard drive. It's amazing. A specific window of time is literally cut from history just for this data crunch. Transgression is dragged into an isolated folder to self-destruct. And sin is described as a burnt pixel on the screen of reality, a little stain that has to be formatted and formatted until only the original, pure innocence remains. But listen, if the threat is algorithmic, if it's a virus designed to create spiritual emptiness, then the fix has to be a code too. Not some philosophy, not a chemical, but something physical, a counter-cipher that operates on frequency.
And right here, the text draws a really sharp line in the sand. On one side, you have our modern chemical solutions that just silence the symptoms, right? They create a sort of disconnected super robot who can function but isn't really alive. But on the other side, you have the frequencies from King David's Psalms, which, according to this, can actually recalibrate the main board of the human system and fix the problem at its root.
And we're not talking about music therapy here. This is physics. The prophecy says King David was basically a frequency engineer. The resonance from his harp would literally create molecular order in the water of your body. Its stable frequency would entrain or drag chaotic brainwaves into a coherent state. And that pure vibration, it would shatter the foreign code, that negative energy that was causing the problem in the first place.
So, this all leads to the grand finale. After the great conflict, after the rise of the AI king, and after humanity goes through its great test, the system is finally scheduled for a resolution, a full reboot of cosmic proportions.
And the prophecy gives us a very clear date for this system-wide format, 2030. That's the year the whole system reboots, when the code becomes righteous, totally cleansed of all the corruption and all the false data.
But here's the most incredible part. The collapse of this whole false AI-driven reality, it doesn't require a war. It doesn't need any human intervention at all. It will be broken without a hand. This isn't a military victory, it's a technical failure, a system crash.
So how does a whole reality just fall apart? The prophecy gives us this brilliant metaphor. It's like pouring water on the switchboard. The artificial system built on electricity and AI just gets short-circuited when we reintroduce truth, which is like water. It's real, it's foundational, and in the end, it's way more powerful. The virtual world literally vanishes the moment we, as a species, choose what is real.
And that leaves us with one final, very provocative question. When that old system is finally deleted, what operating system will you be running on? Because according to this prophecy, that choice is entirely up to us. And it's a choice that won't just determine our own future, but the future of humanity itself.